Hello everyone, you are watching video on hibernate. This is the second lecture of hibernate. In this video we will discuss feature of hibernate. So let us get started now. The very first feature of hibernate is it is DBMS portable. It means suppose you make the hibernate application, same hibernate application will work with the different databases like Oracle database, MySQL database or DB2 database. What does it mean? It means if you are making the hibernate application and you are writing the hibernate queries in it, so the same hibernate query can work with the different databases like Oracle, MySQL, DB2. You do not need to write down the different queries for the different databases, and that is actually achieved in the hibernate using dialects. Like suppose you are writing the hibernate query, then the hibernate query or the hibernate call will be converted into the Oracle database query using the dialect that is provided in the hibernate Oracle dialect. Same thing, suppose you want to go for the MySQL, then you need to use the MySQL dialect so that the hibernate call can be converted into the MySQL queries. Okay, so the same hibernate query can be executed in the different databases just because here the hibernate provides one mechanism that is known as a dialect, and the dialect is responsible to convert your hibernate call into the corresponding database query. Okay, so that's why we can see the hibernate is database portable. Now let us discuss the second feature. Second feature of hibernate is hibernate provides three fully featured query facility. Okay, it means if you are using the hibernate, you are having options that you can use one of the three query languages. You can go for the HQL, that is hibernate query language, or you can go for the hibernate criteria query API, or you can go for the native SQL. Here when you use the HQL, this HQL query language is similar to structured query language. Okay, so here you can write the HQL queries. In case you don't want to write the query statement, instead you want to write the method calls to generate the query, then you can go for the hibernate criteria query API. Actually criteria API is what? This is application programming interface in which some of the classes, abstract classes and interfaces are given. By calling the methods of these classes or interfaces, you can execute any particular query. So here the code will be Java code, means method call will be written to execute a particular query. And in case you don't want to use the hibernate functionality, like you don't want to use the HQL or the hibernate criteria query, then you can go for the third option, that is native SQL, that is a structured query language. It means this is not any new query that is provided by the hibernate. Instead here suppose you want to use the database query, you don't want to use the hibernate query like SQL or criteria API. Instead suppose you are using the MySQL database, then you want to write the MySQL query, or if you want to use the Oracle database and you want to write the Oracle queries, then you can go for this third option, that is native SQL. But you remember one thing here, suppose you go for the native SQL, obviously you will write the query in the database that you are using. Like if you are using the MySQL database, then you have to write the MySQL queries. In that case, database portability mechanism won't be available in your hibernate application. So this is the second feature. Now we will discuss the third feature, that is less development time because it supports inheritance, polymorphism, composition and Java collection framework. Actually in the hibernate you will get the facility so that suppose you are having inheritance in your application, that can be implemented using the hibernate functionality, or suppose you want to use the polymorphism, or suppose you want to go for the composition, means you are having aggregation in your application. So all these object orientation features can be implemented very easily in the hibernate. And one more thing, we know very well that Java has very strong feature, that is collection framework. So here your hibernate will support the collection framework functionalities so that it will become very easy for you to write the code to do the data transaction. So this is one more feature that hibernate provides. Except this, some more features are there, like here hibernate provide you the functionality so that the keys for the primary key or the foreign key can be generated automatically. Okay, like even in the databases we are having automatic value generation mechanism for the primary key column. Maybe in the MySQL, if you remember, it provides the auto increment functionality so that the primary key column can get the value automatically. Or when it comes to the Oracle database provides sequence functionality so that the primary key value can be generated automatically. Same functionalities can be used when you use the hibernate over here. Okay, so the primary key value or the foreign key value will be managed automatically by the hibernate. Except this, one more feature is there, that is your hibernate is free under LGPL. So suppose client is interested in using the hibernate in its application, so can be used without paying. And these are the features of the hibernate except the ORM feature. Obviously ORM is the main feature of the hibernate, but these are the other features which are provided in your hibernate. Thanks for watching this video.